Hello, it's Eamon McAuley here, and I'm back with another interview. I'm up in Ballymena today with Gerry Duxie Hamill. Gerry's actually one of my heroes. I started boxing in 1978 after watching Gerry and Barry McGuigan win gold at Edmonton at the Commonwealth Games. Gerry, talk to me about growing up. Glengormley you're from?
No. Believe it or believe it not, I'm a lonely man. Lower Falls. Family all from there. Reason I started boxing was because everybody in that area, they all boxed, and if you go back into the history of it, and you mention the names, John Caldwell, Jim McCourt, a cousin of my own, Charlie Race, Spike McCormick.
Spike, of course, yeah.
Then you go into the great juveniles that was about it in the time, with the McAuley was the likes of Paddy Moore, the Andrew McCormicks, the Hamills. You could go on forever.
You had a few brothers box for the Mac. They joined the club before yourself?
Two brothers, yeah, Martin and Paddy. Everybody in the area, as I say, boxed. That's what you want to do. Paddy boxed for the Mac, won a couple of Ulster titles, and Martin would win Federation of Boys Club title. At the start I tried to get into the Mac and couldn't get in because I was too young. And Ned being Ned, and I suppose everybody and their wanted to put their kids into the club, learning discipline, etc., etc. And I found myself going to a club which was no more than 200 yards away from it, a club called the Hallruth, which was up the stairs of the old Jimmy Hope's club. Anybody listening to this and in around that area would know where the Jimmy Hope's club was. And in that club, and I had to ask Sammy Vernon this, I thought I saw Paddy McGuire and Paddy Graham both train there while I was there as a kid. Only lasted with me for maybe 5-6 months, I can't remember, till I eventually got myself into the McAuley, and that's where I started to really train in the Mac.
How did you get the nickname Duxie?
Well, simple. Martin, the older brother, got the name. Martin, the ducks are farting. That was the thing that was going on then. And then when I started to box, I got the name of Wee Duxie. But it stuck with me.
Right.
He lost it and I gained it.
So talk to me about your juvenile schoolboy days. You won a few Irish titles?
I won a few, yeah, I did, yeah. The story of me going to the Holy Family, by the way, was a guy, an old character brought me over from asked my father, because Gerry Story was running sparring sessions in the Holy Family on a Sunday morning, asked to go over, and I went over with him. Gerry Story asked me to come back again, and I left the Mac to go to the Holy Family. And the first fight that I had ever was against the McAuley man, and it was here in Ballymena, believe it or believe it not, in Gallagher's factory, and it was a 66 team that was going away to the Commonwealth Games. And again, there was a Scottish team against an Ulster team, but there was also box-offs, as we call box-offs now. Sammy Vernon, I think, fought Jim McAuley.
Right.
My career as a juvenile didn't start awfully well. The first 2 years I didn't win anything. I'd entered the Down O'Connors and the Ulsters and beat the both years. But if you look back on it now, you enter the Ulsters at 11, you fight a guy up to 13. If you're entering at 13, you can fight a guy at 15. If you're entering at 15, you can fight a guy at 17. Today it's all 11-year-olds against 11-year-olds, 12-year-olds, etc., etc. I suppose I had to get a bit of experience and everything else, and it was in my third year where I won Down O'Connor's, Ulsters and All Irons, and then went on from there.
And of course you beat Ardoyne's Jackie Meakin four times.
Yeah. I've seen Jackie on this.
Still, things are still a wee bit feisty between the two.
No, it's all a bit of laugh and a bit of fun. Yes, I boxed. Jackie was something else as regards juvenile. Jackie was the main man in my opinion. Now you had up above Jackie Meakin, you had the Paddy Moores and the Sammy Vernons fighting in contests like this. I remember going and watching. Paddy Moore was the boy to beat. With Sammy Vernon beat him, I think it would have been at St Gabriel's.
Yeah.
All those years back. So no, there was always. And if you look at the Irish juveniles, then you're fighting 5 or 6 times to win a Down O'Connor or an Ulster title. Today, you can have 2 fights in it.
Right. So you stepped up in the junior grade. You sparred with a friend of mine, Charlie Mawhinney, you said?
I did, I went away with Charlie Mawhinney till Coventry, I think, somewhere else. Yeah, Charlie was in the Holy Family for a while. Yes.
Right. 1973 then, Irish senior final, Eamon McDermott. You were doing 2 sports or 3 sports even. You were doing GAA and you were playing football.
Yeah, trying to. When you look at it, you're stepping out of juvenile to go up in the senior grade. There's a big gap, as I said before, between a 15 and 17. Big gap between a 17 and an 18 or a 20-year-old. So Gerry's story, for me to mature that wee bit more, pulled me back out of it and gave me sort of a layoff of a year. And I had been playing football. I turned out 3 or 4 times for Cliftonville Seconds, and I'd won the Ulster Juvenile. I won the Ulster juniors, the Irish juniors, the county anthems, the Ulster seniors, all in the 1 year. Going for the 5-timer, which I think McCourt and Martin
Smith?
No, hairdresser.
Quinn?
Martin Quinn would have been the 2 men I think would have done it all in 1 year. And that was where I was headed till the 5th. But lo and behold, the GAA men got in touch with me. You have a match on Tuesday night, I'm now boxing on the Friday night. And I says, look, I'm boxing on the Friday, you'll be alright. And listening to them and not listening to my father, I went and played the match. And when I turned up against Damien in the Irish senior finals, I had no legs.
Right.
I just wasn't there, and McDermott beat me, yes.
A good fighter he was too.
Yes,
yeah.
brilliant, and a good friend as well.
So 74 was a big year. You won the Ulster Seniors that year, which you got picked for the Commonwealth Games.
Yeah, what would happen there was that the 74, 74, one of the Ulster Seniors, Eamon McDermott being Irish champion from that year. Damien was picked. Talking to Damien was picked to go to America. I missed the trip to America, and Damien, when we talk about this, Damien laughs. The 2 guys that Damien McDermott fought when he went to America instead of me going was Hart Davies,
right,
and Aaron Pryor.
Oh,
was the 2 guys he boxed, and I think I got off lucky by not going. But
you went to the European under-21s in Russia. That was quite a culture shock.
Yes.
Was that before the Commonwealth Games or after?
I can't remember.
So
no, it was after, because I got the Commonwealth Games because I'd boxed Damien in a trial. Damien being Irish, me being Ulster, they're picking the team, putting the team together, and there was a trial arranged Ballymena at their arms, and I beat Damien. I went to 3 rounds, close on 3 rounds. Damien's I went, but I went to a points decision, and I got the decision. And I went to the Commonwealth Games in 78 then. Or sorry, 74. 74 along with Larmer, Rogers,
John Rogers,
Gordon Forrest, Davy Campbell.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they chaperoned you, Larmer and Rogers.
Certainly did.
Just as you did with Barry McGuigan 4 years later. But talk to me about the fight with the Canyon. You got disqualified. I thought you threw the head in, but you says you didn't.
No, well, I don't see myself as throwing the head. I never was one of those guys that threw the head in. What I remember of the fight with the Canyon was that strong and pulling me into a fight where I was more of a boxer. The head probably did go in, and I was warned on 2 occasions. For
Careless with the head, but not deliberate.
Careless with the head was the 2 warnings that I got. It was an Australian referee who disqualified me, and that was it. And the story, the end of the story was that the Australian referee actually judged my fight at the Olympics and give me the fight against Ravitsky.
Yeah. So the European under-21s, and you said it was quite a culture shock in Russia.
It was.
Right.
Well, I tell you what I learned. I learned that the Eastern Bloc countries and the Europeans, the Germans and the Russians, etc., far more mature than what we were physically. They were men and we were still growing up. I boxed a pole in it. Didn't do anything in it. Another good guy there who went on, I think, to maybe box in a final George Gilbody,
Okay.
who would come into
yeah.
my thing again
Right.
in an Ireland England fight.
Yeah, oh, what a fighter he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So 75 then, I think you moved to Ballymena in 75.
Moved up to Ballymena 75.
But you continued to box for the Holy Family. How did that work out?
Well, I still travelled. I was driving sometimes, but mostly on the train. I was down in the Holy Family 3 nights a week, never missed. And eventually bought a motorbike, which got me up and down. But it was a train, 3 nights a week, Holy Family. One morning in Buster McShane's, which was a have to. You have to go down. You must train in Buster McShane's. This is what we're told, and this is what we've done along with Armor and Rogers again. The other 2 nights were spent training in the All Saints, where I had a great arrangement with Willie Agnew, great man. I had a key for the All Saints, was able to go in and out. And Willie put it down to, look, you're boxing international level now, you can go anywhere, you can train wherever you want to train. And we're only too glad to have you here. I seen him manage a time where Liam Neeson's father would have come in. He would have been the only man in the gym with me. He had a little fire for me, and I would have trained away before the young ones come in.
Right, well 75 you beat Charlie Nice in the Ulster Senior final.
Yes.
That was quite a win, but a few weeks later he beat you in the national. Was it the semi-finals?
No, finals.
Final.
Yes, again it was a great learner in the sense that at that level, once you get up into that level, it's in my opinion, it's all about tactics and knowing what way to work with your opponent. For just to turn up on a night and switch a light on and go and do what you have to do, it's not like that. And it wasn't like that then. It's not like that now. Unless you read your opponent and can work with your opponent. What I'm saying is you need to have more than one plan. I'm not saying that I didn't have a second plan, but our tactics was great. Myself, Gerry Story, Bobby McAllister, brilliant for the first fight. The second time, it seems to change. Charlie changed his tactics to a certain extent.
Yeah.
I finished up with a cut eye, a cut just above the head, where the blood would have been flowing down. Panicked a wee bit. But listen, wasn't a big lad on it.
No, a fantastic fighter, Charlie Nice.
Charlie was brilliant.
Clever southpaw.
Charlie was an idol of mine.
Yeah.
I thought the world of Charlie Nice. I thought he was fantastic.
So 1976 then, you retained your Ulster and Irish senior titles.
Yes.
And you got picked to go to the Montreal Olympics.
Yes.
Talk to me about that.
Well,
that is the pinnacle of any amateur's career.
Highlight of my career.
The cherry in the cake would be to win a medal, but to go to it alone it's an exclusive club.
Well, again, I still put myself down. I'm still only 21 and an immature physically. And you're away there, and you're seeing the best in the world there, and you're mixing out. I've sparred with Simeon Kutov in the village, because Gerry Story. One thing with Gerry Story was this: he locked on to great spars. No matter where we went, he organised spars for us right through the till the tournament would start, and it was the best you were sparring with. I got Rafitsky. Ace Rafitsky, Yugoslavia, very strong lad, and again only 19, but would be physically stronger than me, and I make the mistake of not listening to Gerry Story. First round, great first round, 2 counts. I'm on a winner here, and have you ever seen it on television or on YouTube? Right, yeah. Okay, you'll hear Harry Carpenter actually telling me, if Harry Carpenter, if I had an earpiece in my ear and I listened to Harry Carpenter, I would have won it hands down, and even that one. I walk into a bit of trouble in the second round, and the third round I start to feel a bit. A big disappointment to me.
Still thought you won it?
Well, when I look at it and I re-look at it and I look at it again, there was nothing in it.
And what a quality fighter he was. He got beat in the semi-finals by the eventual gold medalist Howard Davis Jr.
Yes. Who
went on to win the Best Boxer award. And don't forget Sugar Ray Leonard was at the Olympics.
That's right.
And Rosetsky actually won a gold medal at the Europeans.
Yeah,
so he was certainly no mug.
Yes, yes.
And you nearly had him out in the first round.
Yeah.
There's another beautiful right hand right into the face of him. Second standing count. And we're right on time. Well, that's a marvellous start by Gerry Hamill.
Talk to me about Montreal. Did you rub shoulders with Sugar Ray and guys like
Sure,
that.
you've seen them all. And
Davy Larmer says you could go and view your fight. There was a room and he would bump into Sugar Ray regularly.
bumped into them all. In fact, went over into the area they were staying in, and went up and down the lift regular with the two Spinks brothers. All the guys were there. Sugar Ray was a bit of a celebrity even then.
Yeah.
Hart Davies was the man, more or less, that they were putting all their trust into. But Sugar Ray came through. He had his own following at the fights as an amateur, where they had the big placards and things that they got there about Sugar Ray.
Right.
Yeah,
and he wore a photo of his girlfriend Juanita on his boots.
Well, I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
So 1978, Commonwealth Games,
Yeah.
Edmonton. Talk to me about that.
Well,
Redemption for 74.
well,
Another Canyon.
on the build up, the whole build up from 76, 77 and 78, and you look at what we done. Gerry story again is building a team up. He's taken us here and he's taken us there. We've went into Canada and we've boxed the Canadians. We've now moved on to teaming up with the Canadians. We've now moved on and boxed the Americans in Las Vegas and Reno, Nevada, and we've come back with great results. The Canadians were over with us. We're now getting away for the first time. I see, if you look back on it and you see the elite teams now where the Paddy Barneses are going down and they're put away for weeks on end and they're training. We weren't weeks on end, but we were a week. Newcastle. And he's putting, and we're also going till Crystal Palace, building up towards all this. And the preparation, in my opinion, was 100% right for us before we went over to the Commonwealth Games. I know I felt physically stronger than I did in 76, and I often say, had I have had the experience and the preparation in 76 as I had for 78, I think I would have won.
Sides of the boxing coin here. Gerry Hamill, who's seen it all before, Commonwealth Games and Olympics, and Barry McGuigan, for whom it's the first big trip. Gerry, first of all, what would you say to a boxer like Barry, setting out on his first big trip like this?
Well, I would try and reassure him. I'm sure there's people telling him that to watch out for this and watch out for that, as opposed to other countries, but in my opinion, Barry has nothing to worry about, and he has been told this. He performs well enough, and he should do pretty well, and we have told him that.
Made the point that you have seen it all before, and you've been in the Olympics and the Commonwealth Games. How does Irish boxing compare?
Well, I think we rate with the best of them. I mean, we have proved it in the recent American tour. We proved it against the Yanks and the Canadians themselves, and we no longer have anything to prove to anyone. They're as worried about us as what we are about them.
Barry, does that reassure you?
Well, it does, yes. Well, I was a wee bit nervous at the start, but I've got over that when I've seen the videos of the rest of the countries, and we've been planning the training now for squad training for a year, and we've trained very hard, so I'm not nervous now.
Of course,
Many fights did you have in the Commonwealth Games to get the gold?
Four.
Yeah, and
the first one was the Indian. Now we come back, and after finding out that the Indians were training, their preparation was spent with the Russians. The second fight was against a guy called Brian Tink from Australia, who had finished in the last eight in Havana at the World Championships. But Larmer had sparred Brian Tink at the 74 Commonwealth Games. I knew a bit about Brian Tink, worked with Brian Tink alright, and then the semi-final was a guy called Teddy Boy from how up there too. But anyway, the last fight was
the Canyon.
Yes, and the funny thing was the Canyon, when the draw was made, was in the same end as George Gilbody.
Patrick Wawery,
that's who it was. Yes, Patrick Wawery. But the Canyon was in the same side of the draw as Gilbody.
Right.
Gilbody had beat me in an Ireland-England international.
And what a fighter he was.
But mentioned Gilbody, and Bunsey mentions Gilbody in one of his shows to say he was the best amateur that ever came out of England. He was something special.
Something special, yeah.
But you know, the funny thing is, and I look back on this and I chuckle to myself, he boxed a guy from Scotland on two occasions, Tommy McCallum. Tommy McCallum. And Tommy McCallum knocked him on 2 occasions. And I beat Tommy McCallum 3 times.
Right, yeah.
So that's the way boxing
Yeah,
goes.
that's the way it is.
But I was looking forward to that, hoping that he would get his way through. But where we beat Gilbody on a cut eye now.
Right.
And I faced Gilbody in the final. Tight, the set was tight and close. Again, Harry Carpenter, I listened to Harry Carpenter's thing.
Yes.
But the thing about it, the first man into my dressing room was George Gilbody.
Right.
Shake hands.
Yeah. No, I watched the final. I was booed. The crowd booed, but I think it was a bit of a, McGuigan had boxed.
It was a carryover from the
It was
McGuigan
carryover, absolutely carryover. Because, to be honest with you, that was a bad decision. The guy from Papua New Guinea well won that fight. But I watched your fight, and I've no doubt you won. You were a clear winner. There was absolutely no controversy about it whatsoever. But in between you and Barry McGuigan fighting, there was a wee fella we had from Ghana.
It was indeed a wee guy by the name of Zuma Nelson.
And he won the gold.
He won gold. Again, Zuma Nelson was over here a few years ago with a pro boxer. He was down in the Odyssey or somewhere. I went to speak to him, and we talked about the Commonwealth Games. He was the first guy we talked about earlier on about heavy boots and training and wearing weights. He was the first guy I seen wearing weights around his leg. But what we had in common, he boxed a guy called Guy Boutin in the I think it was the quarterfinals, and I had boxed Guy Boutin while we toured Canada and America. So
Right.
with something in common, we've talked about it just.
Winner by points majority, Danya Magdalene in the two corners.
Gerry Hamill makes it 2 goals for Northern Ireland. Majority points decision. The judges from Australia, England and Canada vote for him. Those from New Zealand and Ghana against him. So Gerry Hamill makes it a double in these championships in golds for Northern Ireland to follow up Barry McGuigan's success. 2 golds and already a bronze for Northern Ireland, and they've still got one more man to come.
And Commonwealth champion, Danya
So the gold medalist at lightweight, despite a lot of booing from this crowd, Gerry Hamill of Northern Ireland, who was disqualified in the Commonwealth Games 4 years ago, but has more than made up for that now. That's Northern Ireland's first ever gold medal at lightweight in the Commonwealth Games. The runner-up, silver medalist Patrick Waweru, gets his silver medal from John Castle of Australia, one of the leading lights of the International Amateur Boxing Association. And the 2 bronze medalists at this weight, one from Scotland, John McAllister. McAllister was beaten by Waweru in the semi-finals, and the other bronze medalist, Teddy Makofi of Zambia, whom Gerry Hamill beat in the semis.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand.